So what is design thinking? It's this design approach in solving problems. Like, it's very helpful to address the very nuanced or vague problems, trying to put it into a human-centric approach. Like, you are designing and solving problems based on how well you understand a group of people. I'll show you what I mean. Like, there's actually design phases that goes into this, and there's a bunch of them. But today we're going to focus on the 5 design phases introduced by Hasso-Plattner Institute of Design at Stanford. And comprehending these 5 phases of design thinking can help you solve a lot of problems. It doesn't need to just apply to design. It can apply to anything in the world. So phase number 1 would be empathize. Being empathetic helps you understand the problems that your target audience is facing. It helps you understand what they feel and what they want, etc. So this process will involve a lot of research. It will involve a lot of interviews, like communicating with communities, immersing yourself in an environment, like very in-depth stuff. So it's important for you to get a lot of this data if you have the time, so you can carry it over to the next phase. So this stage is about analyzing and trying to synthesize the results that you got from the first phase. So now that you felt what your audience has felt, it's time to understand what it means, dissect it, just putting it on paper, So the point of redefining all these things is to, again, try to redefine it in a human-centric way. So for instance, instead of saying, hey, we need to have more market presence in the food industry to 5% of these girls, you can instead say, teenage girls need more healthy food to survive. It's good for them. So now that you're done with phases 1 and 2, you're ready to ideate. It's better to do this now, because after you've redefined your problem, now you're able to look at it in a different way, and now thinking outside of the box makes more sense. If you didn't redefine your problems, you would have just been actually thinking in the box. Get what I mean? So prototyping is a very experimental step. You're just gonna prototype and prototype and prototype until you eliminate or identify some problems. And all of this is done based on the experience of the users, of course. So at the end of this phase, the design team would have a better understanding of the limitations of their product, what the customer feels about their product, how they can improve on their product, the challenges that they're facing, and they can just refine it instead. So finally, the last phase is testing. So just because this is the final phase doesn't mean it's the last thing that you're going to do. Let me remind you that this whole 5-phase thing is an iterative process, which means once you're done with the last phase, whatever result that you're going to use, you're going to have to carry it over to start over again. Because the point of all of this is just to polish it and polish it and polish it and solve that problem the best as you can, the more you understand it. So there's not much to say about this testing phase besides you kind of just getting this more results for yourself. Like prototyping, but on a more refined level. And those are the 5 phases of design thinking, simply put. Also, it's important to note that these 5 phases are not meant to be sequential at all. You don't have to follow any specific order. Think of it as different parts that contribute to your project, rather than steps to get somewhere. Alright, I hope this video has answered some of your questions. Please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!